If you want to see me create a look with the original Naked palette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and when you only see a pair of eyebrows, you know what that means. It means we're doing an eyeshadow look today, and today is with the original, the OG Naked palette by Urban Decay. Why am I doing a look with the original Naked today? It doesn't fit with any of the brand new focus work I'm doing or any of the palettes I'm testing out. Well, it actually ends up being a request from a friend of mine, and the friend is Steph. You can find her at StephBeauty92, and if you follow her channel, which I strongly suggest you do, she's fantastic. I love her to bits. Steph has been trying to determine what she's going to use as a pan that palette for 2020. And one of the strong contenders is this Naked original palette, or the Naked palette, because she only has 6 shadows left. So let me show you. I'm just going to take the brush out for a sec. If you've never seen the brush, this is what it looks like, double-ended. Now, here is the palette. She has Sidecar and Buck, and then the last 4 shadows. So she's got Toasted, Hustle, Creep, I think, yeah, and Gunmetal. And I have a fluff on the palette. So what I thought that I could do for her today, and it was a request of hers actually, trying to say, well, I don't know how I'm going to use Gunmetal. So Gunmetal is that nice silvery shadow at the very end. And I thought, hey, would you like me to create a look just to offer ideas? And I thought, Steph can't be the only one who has this palette, wants to finish it because it's been around for a really long time, but who finds Gunmetal and Creep, frankly, somewhat challenging to use. So I thought that I would just use these two. And before offering, I did put the shadows on my hand before going and deciding to film this. So I mean, I made the offer, but knowing that I could definitely work with these shadows. As you can see, this is not a heavily used palette from me. That said, I think it is fantastic, and if you look at my last set of videos, it was called Naked in November. I'll put it right here. This palette ended up surprising me when compared to other Naked palettes in the whole series. Now, I will just mention that there are a couple of Naked palettes I don't have. I don't have the Naked Cherry, and I don't have the Naked Honey. But that video was done before those were really either available or widespread in use. Okay, let's get into this palette. And like I said, I'm going to use these two, but I'm also going to use this one at the end. And this one at the end is called Virgin, and it's like a very light beigey cream shimmer, a tiny bit toward the taupe, tiny bit, but I don't mind using that shadow because virtually everyone in at least one palette you have would have some sort of a shimmery cream color for the brow bone. There's usually one of those brow bone colors. So I'm assuming that you have something like that in your collection. So I think I've prefaced everything plenty enough, and let's get right into the look. And to start off, I'm going to go right into Gunmetal with a crease brush, kind of a fluffy brush, and I want to dissipate the color upward. So we will see how that goes. So I'm going to go in with my Sephora crease brush. It's just a regular brush from a set, and going to go right into Gunmetal. So the primary colors today are going to be the Gunmetal and Creep, and I'm going to go right into the crease. And if you're wondering what I have on my eye already, I did put down Urban Decay Primer Potion, and after that I did put Hula Light from Benefit, which is a very, very light bronzer, on the rest of my lid. Just picking up the excess, and we're going in again. There we go. So I'm going to work my way up. Every time I have a lot less on the brush, I'm going to work my way up toward the brow bone. So I'm almost cleaning off my brush by going to the higher layers of the eye. There we go. And I can always just go in with a different brush and lighten it up. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go in with my relatively cleaned off brush. This is the brush that I use to put the hula light on. And I'm just going to go in and just lighten up a little bit what I just did. It's good to have a clean blender brush to do that kind of thing. Okay. I think that looks all right. Just going to go just with a wash of that other crease brush, just like that. And I'm going to go now with an angled brush, and I'm going to bring that gunmetal just into the lower outer lid. And this is my trusty crease brush right there. Oh, and if you're wondering what I have on my wrist, so I put this glitter from ColourPop. It's actually called Fire. Don't know if you can really see it. There we go. And I put it on my movable part of my wrist to see what the staying power is of using that glitter with a mixing medium, just to see what the staying power is throughout the day. And I've done dishes, I've done laundry, and all sorts of different things with this wrist of mine today. And we'll keep checking back to see what the lasting power is, to understand whether I want to use Fire on my eye and how much fallout I can expect. Because glitters are not eye safe, and you want to see how much the glitter is going to move around. Anyway, here we go. So I'm going in with my angled brush into gunmetal. Now I do put the gunmetal on the one side of the brush, right? And I make sure that it is just on the one side when I'm doing the application. Now my preference would have been to have the brush this way, but I just accidentally put it on the wrong side. And it worked out just fine anyway. Okay, so I don't want to go in with more gunmetal except for right in the crease, and crease and outer lid. So I'm going to just put a little bit more on the brush, mostly picking up the kick up that I've had before. And I'm going to go and just intensify the outer lid and crease. And just going to even out what I've got right here and brush off a little bit of fallout that I have. Okay, back to that crease brush, and I'm going to go into gunmetal one more time. And part of Steph's request here was also how to keep a smoky eye like this work appropriate, and shadow placement to be able to do that. And I think that a gradient makes it work quite nicely. And I think we have enough of gray. This could be a look in and of itself as long as we have the inner lid and the brow bone. So I think I'm going to go right into Virgin and finish up that look. Take a look at what that looks like, and then go in and add some creep to the outer lid and all the liner, so that there is an option of a lighter gunmetal look and then a deeper gunmetal look for going out and that kind of thing. So we're going to switch off to brow bone and inner lid right now. For the brow bone, I'm going to use this little guy, and it's a fluffy contour brush that I just like to use on my brow bone. So like I said, we're going to go into Virgin. Does not take very much at all. I'm going to go straight on the brow bone. Just a light wash of color, and if you find it went too far down, go back to your crease brush and just buff out that edge. And that's it. There was a little bit more on the brush than I expected, so just cleaning it off a little bit. Okay. Now for the inner lid, I want to put Virgin there as well. So I'm going to use my pinky, go right into Virgin, and go on the inner lid. And that little bit of shimmer from Virgin starts to pop a little bit. It really brightens up and opens up the eye, and I'm going to take a detailed brush, the Multitasker detailed brush from Smashbox, and just take care of the inner lid. I don't recommend high-end brushes very much, but I have to say this one is so cool. It's built as a pyramid at the top, pyramidal, and it gives me a lot of precision with my eyeshadow, and I really enjoy it. So we're going to go inner to center lid. If you're wondering what else I had on my eye before starting this look, I did have the, I do have the Anastasia Brow Wiz in my brows with the clear brow gel. And I also put Zero from Urban Decay on the upper lash line, upper waterline, if you're wondering why I have that kind of a deeper look. Okay, so that is what I have as the kind of quote-unquote finished look for eyeshadow for a lighter gunmetal look. And I think it looks soft enough that it looks fine. So what I'm going to do is just do liner, and I'm going to do liner using Creep and finish that aspect of the look, and then go in with Creep later with a deeper look. So I'm just going to work on the one eye, and for liner I'm going to use this little guy. It is my favorite little brush for liner, and I'm going to do nothing but use the Creep powder on this little brush to follow the lash line from outer to inner and vice versa, kind of meeting in the middle, and also to do my lower lashes. So let's do that. Now you could definitely use a pencil, but I am offering this tutorial for anyone who wants to try to use up those deeper shades, which means you would line with shadow as well. There is for the bottom. Oh, and for Virgin, by the way, I did mention use any kind of a cream or a very mild silver color for the brow bone and the inner lid. You don't have to use an Urban Decay shadow. I suspect a lot of people using the original Naked palette would have finished the color Virgin. It's one of the easiest colors in the palette to use. Okay, so here is the finished lined look for the milder version of the Gunmetal eyeshadow. And now that you have seen this, right, the whole look, using just that eyeshadow, now I'm going to go and deepen this look for evening. I want a lot of precision with the black, so I'm going to go back to my angled brush and go now into Creep. And I'm going to build, not quite a cat eye, but definitely a little bit more of a V here on the outer lid. And going into Creep, and I'm going to go one side at a time so that I can have a lot of precision with where I put my eyeshadow. Just slight patting and sweeping motions, but very restricted to the outer lid. Oh, and one thing that I didn't do, because I guess I don't consider my look finished because I had more steps to go for the second look, I do also clean up on the outer lid, or the outer edge of the eye, not the outer lid. And I always use this brush, which is a contour, not a contour, pardon me, it's the blurring concealer brush. And I obviously don't use it for that. I just clean off the edge to make sure that there's no eyeshadow that went past where I really want it to go. So just thought I would offer that tip. And I do have some fallout at this point, not a big deal, we'll take care of it at the end. And I'm going to go and continue on with the creep color. And creep is quite a bit more matte than gunmetal, which is kind of nice. You have a lot of control over it. Now I don't want to go, I did go with gunmetal with this brush under the lashes on the outer lid, but what I want to do with creep is I want more control because it's a deeper color. And so I am going to go in with my very, very tiny detailed smudger brush. Again, it's a brush from Smashbox. And it definitely doesn't have to be a Smashbox brush. I just want to let you know what it is. These little tiny smudger brushes are available for $4 Canadian. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a small smudger brush. Actually, any of the really small brushes, they don't tend to be expensive. So we're going to go in with that brush and just go a little bit deeper on the outer lid. Kind of really, really close to the lash line. And so now we've just got a little bit deeper of a look, and we can take that smudger brush and go on the top outer lid as well and intensify the black that is there. There we go. Now let's take a look at what kind of skipping there is or anything. I'm going to go in with that angled brush again and just smooth that out a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of creep. It doesn't seem to be quite far enough right here. Okay, and then go back into my crease brush and take a tiny bit of creep. I don't know why that sounded weird. So I've got a tiny bit of creep just on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to go from right where there is creep, basically brush off some of the creep right on top here, and then move my way a little bit into the crease, because I don't want to all of a sudden have a bunch of black where I don't want it to be. And that should blend the color reasonably well. And I'm pretty happy with this. This is just a bit deeper, nothing crazy. I think that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the other eye and also do lashes and liner so that you can see the final look. So I will do all of that off camera and I will be right back. Okay, this is the final look, and I just wanted to go over the products that I used to finish up the look. First off, I went and reapplied the 24/7 Glide On Pencil by Urban Decay in 0, and that is just on the upper waterline. It does make a big difference in trying to deepen an eye look and make it more dramatic. It also makes it look like you have fuller lashes. And I also used, speaking of lashes, the mascara by Lancome called Hypnose Drama. And the reason I'm using that one today is because I am testing it out. I am testing out the entire holiday set 2019 by Lancome. If you want to see that video, I will put it right there. There's a series, quite a few videos actually, but that first one will get you started. And of course, if you're so inclined. 4 more products to go. I did use Beach Babe by Tarte. It's a deluxe sample. That is what it looks like. That's the color. And I am trying to use it up, and it's actually a really nice color, so it's not exactly a problem. And then I topped it off with White Russian from Buxom. I quite like it. So it's a lipstick and a gloss on top. And finally, I used the Joe Fresh Hydrating Ready and Go, I think, Fresh and Go, on the periphery of my face. And then to mattify my T-zone, I used the Peach Mist from Too Faced. So that really is the entire look. For anything else that I'm wearing on my face, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can see it in the description box. Please take a look there. And yeah, so 2 looks, one more work appropriate and this one more evening, using Gunmetal and Creep. Gunmetal as primary, Creep secondary, and Virgin the third, the least used shadow. I hope you enjoyed those 2 looks, with this one being, of course, the only complete one out of the 2. And Steph, I hope that this was useful in either helping you decide to pan the OG or running away. I'm not sure which one that's going to be. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate it every time, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next one. But for now, take care.